So, female characters are often called strong, soft, emotional, or complicated. But tarot gives us a more interesting question. How do these women hold emotion, power, and choice? How do these women hold emotion? I already said that. Today, I am mapping six female characters, two from my own work and four from other sources of literature, into tarot postcard archetypes. Not to categorize them, but to understand their emotional intelligence. But before we dive into this video, very quickly, if you're new here, I am Anisha from Soul Script with Anisha. I am an author, a tarot practitioner, and a healer. And in this phase, we are going to explore the overlaps between tarot and stories because those are my two main interests right now. And if this interests you, then please subscribe. Now, so if male code cards have often shown us how someone acts in the world, female code cards show us how someone relates internally. So, very quickly, in the female archetypes, pages represent emotional beginnings, innocence, and becoming. Queens represent internal mastery, how a woman processes emotion, boundaries, and self-worth. Unlike knights, queens don't chase, and unlike kings, they don't need to prove. Queens are about containment. How much can someone feel without losing themselves? So let's start with my two female leads. And of course, I can't go a day without talking about Jasmine and Akriti. So Jasmine is the Queen of Wands. And this archetype is confidence rooted in self-belief, not validation. At her best, the Queen of Wands is expressive, charismatic, and emotionally warm. She knows who she is and she doesn't apologize for taking up space. But in shadow, this archetype can feel vulnerability. Confidence becomes armor. Independence turns into emotional distance. She doesn't fear love, she fears losing herself. On the other hand, we have Akriti, who aligns with the Queen of Souls. This is clarity, intelligence, and emotional discernment. She values truth over comfort. She communicates cleanly, sees through emotional manipulation. But in shadow, the Queen of Swords can intellectualize pain. Boundaries become walls. Feelings get replaced with analysis. This archetype is often misunderstood as cold when she's actually protecting clarity, which is something that I feel about Akriti a lot, that she's very, very misunderstood because of how strong her boundaries were in the book. On the other hand, we have Lila Starcaster, who is from the book The Dust Fever series, which is written by Alisa Carson, and she embodies the Page of Cups. This archetype represents emotional openness, intuition, and becoming. She feels deeply and believes in possibility. Her softness is not weakness, it's receptivity. But pages can struggle with boundaries. They absorb emotion before they learn how to filter it. Growth for this archetype comes from emotional containment, not hardening. Now we can look at some of the familiar faces from literary fiction. So when we spoke about Darcy in the previous video, how can we not talk about Elizabeth Bennet? And she is completely the Queen of Swords, which is Wes. She values wit, independence, and intellectual honesty. She questions norms, challenges authority, and refuses emotional manipulation. But early judgment and pride act as emotional filters. Growth comes from softening certainty, not losing intelligence. Next, we have Jane Eyre, who represents the Queen of Cups. And this archetype is emotional depth with moral boundaries. She feels profoundly but refuses to abandon herself. Compassion does not override integrity. But in the shadow, risk is emotional self-sacrifice. But when integrated, this archetype offers love with self-erasure. And lastly, we have another queen, but she is the Queen of Cups but shadowed. Daisy Buchanan, she reflects this archetype, the Queen of Cups but shadowed, because she lives in emotional fantasy. For her, feelings replaces agency. Sensitivity exists but without responsibility. This archetype shows us what happens when emotional longing is never grounded in choice. Why these archetypes matter? We don't admire female characters because they are perfect. We admire them because they show us different ways of holding power, love, and selfhood. Tarot doesn't reduce women to traits, it expands how we understand them. So the next time a female character stays with you, ask yourself, which court card energy does she carry? Which part of you does she speak to? And if this video resonated with you, then I will see you in the next one.